Hey, everybody. Greetings and welcome to Conflict Radio. Today is August 9th, 2021, and we've got GUFON's Richard Giordano. Did I say that right, Rich? It's Giordano or Giordano? Are you still there? Rich? Did he go away? No, it says he's still here. I can't hear you if you're there. All right, so the new GUFON channel, GUFON means the Giordano's UFO Network. You can listen to GUFON only on YouTube. The show is hosted by Rich Giordano, a boots-on-the-ground UFO paranormal researcher since 2004 and radio personality since 2006. Rich has pioneered the most original broadcasting the paranormal genre has ever enjoyed. The show is based off Rich's own experiences in the paranormal and his thoughts. It all started when Rich was shocked to his core, seeing how a misidentified or a hoaxed event was deemed credible, as long as it was creating clicks and money for those involved. Rich exposes the lies as well as to inform on the truth. GUFON is a show that is constantly mutating. The live streams are never the same, and important discoveries are created as premiere episodes. A serious show with a slice of comedy from a host who leaves it all on the table by sharing his own experiences and opinions through 17 years of trial and error investigating, real boots on the ground reporting and investigating. Rich from GUFON, how you doing today?
Who was that about?
That was about you, man.
I'm kidding. I'm doing well, man. Thanks. How are you?
I'm not doing too bad. I was a little late today getting the link up, and I think I freaked out a lot of people. Nobody knew what time the show was starting, but I talked to you earlier this morning, confirmed we were good to go, and then I went and took a nap for about 4 hours, and that was my day today. So I didn't get the link up before I napped, but I guess that's what happens. I had everybody freaking out on me, like what the heck's going on? So we're here, and we've got the show going on. Let me give a shout out to all the people in the chat. I see Mr. Fox, Chuck Bam, Distortion of Reality, Derek Atkins, Jersey Dolphins is in the house, Aiden McLaughlin, Kingfish Kebab, Will Carr, Mike Johnson. There's a ton of people here. Sir Wolf, Thomas Fezler, Antonio, how you doing? Man, everybody is here today. How's it going?
A lot of GUFOnians.
Yeah, well, that's going to happen. We have a lot of crossover, I noticed. I spend a lot of time watching your show and hanging out in the chat room at your show, and there's a lot of the same listeners. I thought, well, I really ought to get you on because, we have a lot of the same fan base, and I wanted to talk to you about the leadership in ufology today. I have a feeling that we're kind of being led astray. What do you think?
Yeah, man. You look at the leadership, there is no leadership, let's just say that. There's people who want to be the leaders, I guess you could call them, like Greer and Elizondo now, and Corbell and Dolan, he's still trying to hold on, and Linda Moulton Howe. Oh my gosh. So they still, trying to keep what's in their mind real going, and they're just getting more exposed for what they don't know. That's my opinion. I see a lot of problems, a lot of people not knowing they were being duped, bad vetting,
Yeah, well, you notice how they kind of all stick together in their own little bubble now. They don't even venture outside of themselves. They just kind of stick all to themselves. Like,
I wonder if that's what we're gonna do when we're on our way out, man. I don't know.
Well, we got a while. We got about 20, 30 years before we're out of here, I'm sure. So we're gonna be around a while.
You're too kind. You're too kind.
Oh, we easily got 20 more years of doing this.
I don't know if I can take another day of it. It's just very frustrating to be in ufology at this moment.
Well,
it's very frustrating.
What do you think of them switching the keywords, going from UFO to UAP? I find that so weird. And then everybody jumps on it, right? Like all of these the people with the inside track on everything. And when I say inside track, I mean the ones where Louis goes on their show all the time, right? That they all do the UAP thing now.
Well, I'm going to have to disagree with you on that because they weren't trying to change it. That wasn't their intentions. If you remember correctly, they came out, actually, Mrs. Clinton did. What's her name? Hillary Clinton said it several years ago, UAP. Um, so it's not something that's brand new. It's used in the government. And what we heard only from Lou Elizondo and others was UAP, government UFOs. So they definitely changed it. And they did that to step away and say, look, we're not going to be tied to the stigma with the public's idea of UFOs. We got our own to deal with. So we're going to use UAP. It sounds better. And that's what they were doing. That's why you heard UAP all the time. Every now and then, Lou Elizondo would say UFOs. He wouldn't just say UAP. But when he talked about the government seeing UFOs and having that evidence, they called them UAPs. Public is UFOs.
So what do you think? You think Lou is running a misinformation campaign?
I think I do. I think here's what's going on. We must have found, we had the key. We must have unlocked the box with the magic inside of it some decade ago or 15 years ago when they started seeing these Tic Tacs. And I think these private corporations were testing them on the best in the world, which would be our Navy, our military. So of course they saw these UFOs, these UAPs, whatever you want to call them. They're ours. And I think what Lou was trying to do is cause confusion, saying, hey, we know it's not ours. We don't know if it's China or Russia, but we don't know where it comes from. It could be something else, He was hinting towards something else. That's steering us away from what we cracked, what we figured out, what technology we must now master and use and can definitely do anything we want in the blink of an eye. I think they're trying to get us away. I think some of that tech is going to leak out. I watched this on that UFO on Showtime. If anybody hasn't seen it, check it out. It's pretty interesting.
Is that the one that's directed by J.J. Abrams?
He's the executive producer, but yeah, you can see some of his work in there, lens flares, and so silly. Has to put his trademark on it, but anyway, yeah, that's the one, and it's pretty good. I was kind of impressed with it. To be honest.
I actually didn't even know that was out yet. I was wanting to watch that. It
just came out yesterday.
I did try to watch that new one that dropped on Netflix, and I think I got about 15 minutes through the first episode before I turned it off because it was just more of all the same kind of stuff that we've always seen.
There was one on last night, and it was the 7 News premiere of I don't know, man. It was just that guy, Chris Cuthert or something like that. I can't remember his name, but I think Australian reporter did a really good documentary last night, and they premiered it. It was pretty good.
All right, so let's talk about GUFON for a little bit. This is an interesting show. Now, when I first started following you, you were doing the Paranormal Code. Now, you don't do the Paranormal Code anymore, right? It's just strictly GUFON?
It's the same show, just different name.
Yeah. So Paranormal Code is gone. So everybody out there following that knows the Paranormal Code, this is the same show. So make sure you get over there and start following GUFON because it's the same show. It's just a different name. So why the name change? Why'd you come around with the name change? And where did GUFON come from? Because it's kind of like a goofy MUFON twist, right? But it's not.
It could be anything you want it to be. Let's just say that. It started when I had the AZ UFO show, and I said as a joke one night, yeah, MUFON. We were talking about them and whatnot, how bad they do their research, and I go, yeah, maybe I should change it to I don't know, Giordano's UFO Network, and somebody goes GUFON. I go, oh my God, we should call it. We should call it GUFON. And I said, no, that's too close to MUFON. Forget it. Never going to happen. Some 11, 12 years later, a good friend of the show from day one, William Pattison, started a GUFON Facebook thing or group, and people started liking it. And I said, well, I hate the Paranormal Code. Hate it. Because paranormal's in every single title of every show. So I didn't want that anymore. And I said, all right, maybe we'll try GUFON. And it's stuck, and I hate it. And it stands for Giordano's UFO Network, Greatest UFO Network, or, you want to just say GUFON because of MUFON, like goofing on.
Yeah, I think it's great. It's almost like a...
You can't like it. There's no way. Nobody likes GUFON.
Oh, I love GUFON, man.
Really? Don't tell me that. You're not going to hurt my feelings, I promise. I know it's terrible.
No. Okay, here. So I have to fix Rich's audio. It's all echoey. Let me see. I think if I actually do that, that'll probably help. Try. How's it sound now, guys? How's that?
Is that any better? Do you hear two of me? You don't want to hear two of this. That's for sure. One's enough.
This new streaming software actually runs me on a little bit of a delay, but I noticed it's a lot more reliable than I was using OBS. But I'm using this one now because OBS kept buffering on me. So I figured.
Do you mean OBS?
Yeah, OBS kept buffering on me, so I switched it out, and I love that one.
Got to have a very fast computer for OBS to work well. I learned that the hard way.
Oh, that's probably what it is. I'm just running on garbage equipment here, honestly.
Are you really?
Huh? Well,
that really does make a difference. It does, yeah.
It's all right.
Well, if that's true, then that's why, yeah. Well, this sounds fine here. It's just weird not seeing myself or you.
Well, that is a strange thing, right? See, but it's radio.
I love it. Yeah, I know. It's better this way.
I like this because I think it gives people the ability to use their imagination a little bit more, and I think that's
Dude,
more fun, right?
I think I got an idea. I'm going to do 5 minutes of real radio and just go dark on the show.
Yeah, why not?
Oh, because I really, really enjoy radio more than I do the visual. Anytime I listen to something, I'm not always watching.
Well,
I'm doing something else.
It's not just that. Like if I have the video feed and all that going, like the people listening on the podcast, they're just listening. They're not watching the visuals. So if I go to the visuals, then I think that I'll get used to the visuals and just assume that everybody is watching the visuals and not taking into account that, hey, there are people driving in their car or they're, vacuuming their house or doing the dishes or, whatever it is that they're doing at home, besides watching the TV. So, this way, you don't have to watch. You can turn us on. You can walk around your house. You can play with the cats. You can do whatever you want to do, and we can just kind of be there in the background. And I think that I don't know. I kind of like that. If people don't like that, then they can watch GUFON, I guess, right? Or go somewhere else.
Hey, man, whatever makes you happy in this day and age.
Yeah, I just think that there's something about imagination.
It is. I always love doing just regular radio, or, what are we, streaming, podcasting? What do you like to be called?
I don't know. I'm just podcasting, I guess.
Yeah, I would say live streamer or something like that.
Yeah, like live streaming. I love going live. I used to do the show pre-recorded, but I go live now because I get so many listeners in the chat room that it's awesome to be able to insect them into the show.
You did the right thing.
Yeah, you do that a lot too. Plus, I find it's a lot less work to go live. When I was pre-recording the show, it is so much less work to go live. It really is.
Oh,
I don't have to make the video. I don't have to wait on the buffering or the processing or anything. It's just, there it is. It's done. Let me go about my day and watch GUFON, right? Now,
yeah, that's a great idea.
Yeah, that way I can finish up and throw on your show. Now, see, you moved, so your time change has really messed things up because I'll go off. By the time my show's over, you used to be just starting. Now my show is over. You're like halfway over already.
I know. I am sorry about the time change, but I was staying up so late, and it was just having issues with, sleep. I wasn't sleeping, wasn't feeling good, snowballed, right? So I had to take back those 3 hours, man. I just had to.
No,
I had no choice.
I don't
Actually, 2 hours, not starting at 7. I went to 8. I met you almost halfway.
All right, well, there you go. Well, that way you're at least half over when I'm finished, not completely done.
Yeah, and the first half is always a bunch of nothing anyway. I like the second halves of shows. More videos, less me.
Oh, really?
Yeah,
The
you never
funnest part
noticed?
is when you're chatting around and ack sends those videos into you, man. I got such a kick out of those.
I like them. I like it because I haven't had anybody do anything funny in a long time. Those are funny.
I get a kick out of it every
Appreciate that.
time he
Yeah,
sends
man.
those in, man. That's just a trip. I see him. He's here in the chat somewhere. I seen him. I was like, ack is here. I got so excited.
It's just an annoying name to type out. I don't mind it because on YouTube chat you just go the @ symbol and AC, right, and it pulls it up. But
Yeah.
if you got to type that out, that's a tough one. I don't like it. You gotta cap locks, then you gotta space, then you gotta cap locks again. Yeah,
So
or you can keep it anyway.
so how was the move?
But the move was great, to be honest. I mean, my desk got broken. Um, I don't know, I'm missing some cables, but for the most part, things are pretty good. And yeah, the place is okay. I'm not used to living in, I don't know if it's a manufactured home or what, but it was a really good deal, and it's not bad. And I said, all right, I'll step back before I go forward. And that doesn't mean living in those is step back. It's just, I'm used to living in a house or a condo, totally different atmosphere, totally different environment than Arizona. Yeah, I think I might have been a little spoiled.
I loved
And
your story about the lizard. Do you still have the lizard in your house?
I don't know, but
Have you seen it?
I saw it the day after I came home from vacation from California. The next morning when I woke up, I walked across the hallway and I saw this pinkish looking thing just dart across the hall and go into the kitchen. I didn't see it make a left. It must have went underneath the, whatever you call it, the stove. So it's still there, man. I haven't seen it, but I'm sure it's still there. It started as a baby.
You got to pull the stove out, right?
It wouldn't matter. Oh, I tried. I tried scaring it out, but there's a little network. When these homes that I was just mentioning, I may have been a little spoiled. Well, I guess I lived in homes that were put together correctly,
Yeah.
because there's gaps everywhere, and these things can go all over the place. So they could travel all underneath the house, and I wouldn't even know it.
Man, and you moved to Florida at the worst time, too. You went right in the middle of the summer, and I spent some time, I guess, in Florida. I was down near Delray for about a month in the summer, and I was like, I got to get out of here. This is crazy. Like, I'm you walk out to get the mail and then back to the house, and you're soaking wet. It's so
Wow.
hot and humid. It's insane.
My parents, and anybody else who moved out with us, we don't feel what people are talking about. I've been outside when it was 95 humidity and 95 degrees, and I was okay. I'm from Arizona, 118 degrees. Something must have cured me from getting hot and feeling really hot when I shouldn't, or when I should. But I'm used to it. I'm saying I don't feel that. And I think it's from growing up in Arizona with, 120, 118 degrees.
Yeah. Oh, there's something about, and I spent some time in Glendale. I used to bartend at the Margaritaville there by the stadium. What is that? There's a huge plaza there. I forget the name of it.
How long ago?
Oh God, 2008, 2009, right there at the Cardinals Stadium.
The new one in Glendale?
Yeah.
I never been, so
Yeah, it was.
I wouldn't support the Cardinals.
And it'd be 115 degrees, 120 degrees, and I would talk to my friends back out in the Northeast, and I'd be like, "Man, it's 120 here today," and they're like, "Oh, well, that's a dry heat," and I'm like, "You know what? Put your oven on 120 and stick your head in there. That's a dry heat."
It's hot.
I just don't get it, like how hot that is.
It's hot. Yeah.
I mean, you get in your car and you can't even touch your steering wheel for 20
Right.
minutes.
I haven't had that at all in Florida.
No,
even when it's sunny out.
You won't. Or you go to touch your doorknob, or something, and it's literally 300 degrees glowing red from the sun beat down on it all day. It's absolutely insane how hot it is out there. I don't think people get it.
It's amazing that more cars don't break down. I mean, that's how hot it is. I mean, it's like 160 degrees on the pavement. 180.
Yeah, and one of the things I think surprised me the most when I moved out there was how fast it eats the rubber off your tires. Like
Yeah, I
you'll go
know,
through
right?
tires like crazy. And I never, it's just one of those things you don't think about, right? Like, oh, okay, well, I'll move to Arizona, blah, blah, blah. Well, guess what? You're going to be getting new tires every 4 months because the 200, yeah, the 200-degree weather is going to eat your tires up. Like, your tires are gone. It's like they melt away.
Yeah, you're on slicks. You're on slicks. No, it does. Tires don't last 2 years in Arizona. And I don't really drive that fast or abusive, not anymore. I don't know why. Maybe the reflexes do slow down.
No, we just don't care anymore. It's amazing how much you don't care anymore when you get older, right?
100% right. People cut me off. I'm like, hey, at least he didn't hit me.
I love it when they like, are going faster than me. I call them my cop blocks.
Yes, that's what they are. You let them get a certain distance and you pace them.
Yeah, because if anybody's going to get nailed, it's going to be them, and they're my
Absolutely.
cop blocks. Go for it, buddy. Be my cop block. Good for you.
Yeah, or you see their brake lights for no reason.
Yeah, and I guess one's coming up. There you go.
Exactly. I'm getting used to this interesting, like you don't have vision in Florida. There's trees everywhere I go. So you can't see in a great distance. In Arizona, you can see 60 to 80 miles in one direction. Over here, you're lucky to see up the street.
What do you think of the lightning?
Oh, it's the best and the worst. I'm losing my voice. As I told you before the show, you were the first person I spoke to all day. Love it and hate it. In Arizona, you get to see more of the lightning bolt, which I like. And in Florida, because you don't have that, length and that. Hold on a second. I'm just losing my voice.
All right.
Excuse me while I.
That's all right. Grab a drink of water. I'll say hi to everybody I see in here. Dr. Strangelove, how you doing? Carrie's is here. Derek Atkins is in the house. Woolly Booger. God, I always have the worst time saying that name, and I think I got him mad one time. Jack D. Whiskey, how you doing? Mr.
Booger.
Fox, I guess
that's a good name for Schwarzenegger. Woolly Booger.
Woolly Booger. Yeah, there you go. Oklahoma has lightning. Yeah, you guys are right there in tornado central. So, are you worried at all about hurricanes?
Yeah, a little bit.
They're fun,
but not really. This home has been here since '83, so it's been through some pretty heavy hurricanes. I'm sure it'll survive.
Yeah, Scott Brown says hello, by the way.
Hey, Scott Brown, how you doing? In the fields. I am. We had our first hurricane a month or so ago, and it was nothing really. I mean, it died out before it became something serious. So it was very depressing. 25, 35 mile an hour winds. It rained more the next day after it was gone.
Yeah, You'll notice that the news and everybody they'll really play it up.
Oh, it was all over the place on my weather apps, and there's a tornado, there's a hurricane, we're coming right for you. I'm like, you need to look for all your escape routes.
All right, Derek Atkins has a question here, and I just want to give everybody a heads up. We'll get to the question part, the last half hour of the show. But he says here, does Rich really think Ted Bundy was as nice as he said he was?
Yeah. Oh, the stories about Ted Bundy. He was a great neighbor, good friend. Neighbors, I think, even let him watch their kids. Or him, I mean, can you imagine that? That's a sociopath in action. So we got a lot of them in this field. Oh no, well, I don't know if we really do. There may be one or two.
Let's talk about it some more a little bit. I wanted to small talk you a little bit because that's just what we do here to pass time on the show and all that kind of stuff. So let me ask you, who do you think, if we're gonna look to people who are actually telling the truth, who in your mind would be a good example of someone to listen to that's actually doing good work?
So who do I think in this field is someone I could trust to listen to? All right, I like John Greenwald from the Black Vault.
All right.
Mick West. I like his analysis, and his detail, when he does the debunking and whatnot, I think most of the time he gets it right, not every time. But nobody's perfect. But at least he's trying. Boy, it would have been easier if you would have just said the people, the other way.
Yeah, Ack says he's going to keep listening while levitating a cow. And see, that's what I'm talking about. You don't have to watch. You can levitate cows. You can, do whatever you want. It's okay. You don't need to watch. Just listen. That's all.
That's all. Just listen to our voices.
So who are the worst?
Take you.
Who are the worst out there? That obviously we're looking at Greer, right?
The worst. Well, you have to go through the categories of worst. Why? Are they making a lot of money?
Who's made the most money so far off of bullshit?
If I was to hedge a bet, I would say it would have to be Lou Elizondo, but I don't know. I know that Dolan does these dollars for disclosure events, the pay-per-view thing. Makes a pretty good penny, I heard. I mean, it's a lot. It's not a little.
People have been begging me to get him on the show. They're saying he's like the most prolific researcher out there for UFOs, and he's the one that I need to talk to.
Yeah, he does a good job, but he's not always right. And like a lot of other people, I think he got lazy and got caught. I think he got cocky, with that one guy who, claimed he was a CIA guy and the aliens and all that stuff, and it happened to be just some story some guy made up. So I guess it could happen to everybody, but...
Do you think, obviously you think that there's something really out there, right? Have you seen a UFO or anything like that yourself?
All right, I haven't seen what would be like a really good UFO, like not even a Phoenix Lights type of event. I've recorded things that are unusual, very good, very unusual, but it doesn't mean they're not balloons or 3 satellites forming a triangle or 3, secret TR-3Bs forming a triangle. I don't know, you just can't know everything about what you record. But there's something up there, man. I don't know. I just, I don't believe everything is ours, but I don't know, man. That's the whole thing. What if everything is ours?
Well, that would be very disappointing, wouldn't it?
Yeah, well, think about it. We don't have any evidence, and nobody has any alien bodies. Anybody who's ever been abducted never gets a picture. So, we're living in a world where people are sleeping when things happen, passing out at the steering wheel of their car. Who knows what's going on?
Yeah,
but they have these experiences. Why aliens? Why not big black bears? It's weird.
That would be so awesome if like the UFOs landed and like bears walked out of them.
I think it would be interesting. Well, it'd be interesting if they were some sort of fish. That I would think would be cool.
Like a fish alien?
Yeah, they come out dripping and just always wet.
Their spaceships are really full of UFO or like water or whatever.
Yeah. That's why they live in the ocean.
Would be so awesome.
Got it all planned out.
Yeah, they're the Atlanteans.
Seriously, no, they might be.
Yeah, well, it could be from a long ago civilization of humanity that just survived all this time, and they're hiding away somewhere.
What if it's this? What if it's Atlantis? Hear me out. And they got trapped in a bubble underneath tons of pressure, and it's a big bubble that they created, like the size of a city, right? So there's maybe 10,000 of them down there, maybe more by now if they repopulated and whatever. But it's a huge bubble, but it's embedded in the earth under the ocean. They just can't get out.
You mean like they're trapped down there?
They're trapped down there because they can't go into the pressure of the oceans and come into our world.
Yeah, well, I've always wondered that even about Mars. Because you have all of this, I guess there's a lot of people that say that Mars used to be this great civilization, right?
It would have to be 3 billion years ago, though.
Yeah, all right, so what if they went underground 3 billion years ago, to survive some kind of earthly or, I guess, Mars cataclysmic event, and they've been trapped down there ever since, just hoping, like, somebody comes and frees them?
3 billion years later.
Yeah, well, I mean, it's possible. And
We'll wait one more day. No, one more day. You said that 4 billion years ago. You know, anything's possible. That's the beauty of this. Nobody knows anything up until the point, you know, are they real or are we imagining them? Because we still don't know. Like if Fravor saw an alien giving him the finger as it flew by him at hypersonic speed, that would have been fantastic. If he would have seen an alien in the Tic Tac or got a vision of it, you know, I wonder if he has any nightmares seeing these aliens. Maybe they like zapped him with some light beam message at Mach speeds.
Yeah. Or what if they actually have nightmares about us? Or they could just be tourists. They could just be rich tourists from another planet, like paying $1 billion or whatever to go check out on the stupid Earthlings.
That'd be so amazing if that was like the Atlanteans. They found a way out. They're like, look at these people. Yeah, this is amazing.
They're just
we used to live up here.
they're charging to like come up and like look at the Earth today.
Yeah, they think nothing's here, right? Big lush trees. They come up, it's all been scavenged. All the animals are almost dead in the ocean.
Yeah, there's pollution everywhere. And like, what the hell?
Nuclear hotspots that aren't volcanoes.
What's wrong with these people?
Yeah, so they just sit around and watch. I wonder if it is from inner Earth. Wow. You know, what if they did, you know, have this craft and, you know, it encased them in some type of cube-looking thing, and they were just able to chill out and watch what our Navy did, and maybe they're hovering over cities just watching.
Yeah.
Taking notes.
Yeah, taking selfies with us.
But that's also creepy because, you know, why are they doing it? Just to know us? You know, what are we, a history, you know, like an anthill to them?
Yeah.
It can't be. They know we're intelligent.
Well,
you know, we do things differently. Well, I don't know. It's okay, let's just say that. I can only judge myself against other people, and I think I'm somewhere in the middle. But I don't know if we are compared to them.
I'm sure
nobody knows. What if? Here's what I always throw out there. Everybody always says, "Oh, you know, they created this way to travel across great distances, or they, you know, found a tunnel system and just go from one universe to the other in a blink of an eye." You know, what if that is all they created was a little bit of technology and a spaceship, and the rest of their civilization could be dumb as rocks?
Yeah, like they have no street smarts, I guess, right? They don't know how to.
They're not smart. They just, you know, they just found this technology and they're just flying around in these things, don't even know anything. But they could be really dumb. Like, I'm not saying, you know, like maybe a 10-year-old, 8-year-old, no experience, just aloof to everything, can't retain any information. They could be idiots. Just they found this technology and they learned how to use it.
Yeah, probably like left on Mars or something from the cataclysmic event they had there.
Maybe. Yeah, maybe that. That's a good one. Never thought of that. But then you would have to say, well, that can't be either, because they would have to be somewhat intelligent to know going into another system, you know, there's going to be change in gravity and, you know, and all that stuff, unless the ship did everything. But then they would have to learn everything about the ship, which automatically makes them smarter because it's some technology they never knew.
Yeah, but you could drive a car and not know everything about that car. I mean, we do that plenty of times, right? Like we just get in somebody else's car that we don't know, and maybe
but eventually you die. You know, eventually you're going to make the wrong move quicker than you don't if you knew how to drive. But I get the point.
Yeah, but UFOs don't have a lot of traffic. It's not like you're going to run into another UFO, right? It's not like there's a ton of them up there. If I was the only car on the road, I could certainly figure it out.
Space is so enormous that how can they scan for all the little rocks that would be on your way? You know what I mean?
Yeah.
A pebble, if you're going the speed of light and you hit a pebble, you're done.
Yeah, that's totally true. Well, you'd have to have some kind of force field around you as you're going where pebbles and things like that would bounce off. I mean, obviously you'd have to
Yeah.
You know, you'd have to avoid the bigger things, right?
I
But not
think
only
so.
that, but the universe moves, like the suns move and the earths move, and you know the planets all move around and the galaxies are all moving around, so everything's moving. So by the time you, like, if you set your course for like Earth and you're a billion light years away, you know, by the time you get there, everything is going to be moved around, right? It's going to be totally different.
Right. You have to know where everything's going to be.
Yeah. Oh well.
It's a lot of stuff, man. That's why, when, Star Wars came out and they just, they hit the star system. Same with Star Trek. They just take them right to the perfect place every time.
Well, it's all computerized.
Yeah.
The computer figures it out.
But if they're, yeah, I don't know. It's too much. It's above my pay grade. I was going to say, if there's no gravity, then how do they put on, in space, how do they put on the brakes that fast?
Well, it's reverse thrusters, right? Like,
I guess, yeah, you can say that. There's always some loophole.
It reminds me of Spaceballs, where he's like, we can't stop. We've got to slow down first. That was such a great movie.
Yeah.
All right.
One of my favorites.
Jack D. Whiskey,
Melbourne.
thanks so much for the super chat. Aliens visiting us are the richest of their planet. Yeah, I bet so. Derek Atkins with another question. Could he tell us of his most profound experience or sighting? That's what Derek wants to know of you.
Nope. No, I'm joking. Let's see. So, when we're talking about real experiences, that excludes all the good stuff. Everything's boring, but I'll tell you one, and it kind of freaked me out because it never happened once. Well, when I was sky watching, when I started in 2004, I used to sit down in a field. It was a big open field, like a park, actually. And I would fall asleep, but I would try to make contact with aliens, not knowing I was doing CE5, but I was really into this. I want to see if it's real. So I did. I tried everything, read about everything, and, I would go out, and I did it for, I think, 7 years, almost every night going out trying to get contact. Nothing ever happened. Nothing. And I'm serious when I say every night, even if it rained, but it doesn't rain much in Arizona. Even if it rained, sometimes, I'd be out there till I couldn't stand it anymore. But I always heard of people, and it never happened, why I bring this up. People always like saying, oh, I flashed my laser at it, and it flashed back at me. And it was real exciting. And I'm like, yeah, exciting. Okay, that would be cool. Why? I would love for that to happen. And I didn't know at the time that iridium flare satellites were an actual thing. That's how new I was, and I would see them get really bright. It's the same thing that James Gilliland sees at that Gilliland Ranch up there and wherever. It's the same thing. Iridium flare satellites, they get bright, then they go dim. That's all it is, right? And I'd flash my laser at it, and nothing ever happened. I must have done it 20,000 times. Nothing's ever happened. So one night, it was right before, let me see, about 2019. I can't remember exactly. But I was walking the dog, leaving my house, and I saw a light. Somehow I turned around. I felt like somebody was walking behind me. It was at 4 a.m. And where I lived, it was very well lit, but a lot of corners, so I kind of got a little startled. Nothing was there, so I look up and I see this big bright light. And the reason I tell you all the other stuff, because everybody acts like, oh yeah, I want to make contact with them. No, you really don't. This thing, I flashed my light at it, and it flashed back at me. And it was incredible. Took out my phone, started recording it, and then it just disappeared. It just dimmed out, but it wasn't moving. And I've never seen that before. But let me tell you something. I had so much fear come over me. I actually just started walking the dog, which is usually from 4 to 5 a.m. I went back home because I felt like it invaded me. It was weird. So I don't, that's like the coolest thing that's ever happened to answer that question. I know I went a ways, but it wouldn't have made much sense if you just heard me say, I got scared for no reason. No, there's a reason. I tried it. It's never happened before. You think you're going to want this to happen to you. Maybe next time I'll be ready for it, but I felt like I was in danger for a second.
Do you think it's because you sensed an evilness about it?
Not an evilness. I was scared I wasn't going to come home. It was like, oh my God. It's so hard to explain because it happens in a millisecond, the rush of emotions. I thought I felt eyes on me when I was walking the dog. Like, you come around the corner to go to the gate, and somebody could come out that same little alley and you wouldn't even know it. And they could come up on you. So that's what I felt like. Somebody came up on me and the dog, like, they were going to rob me or whatever.
Yeah.
But nobody was there. And then instinctively, I looked up, just to look at the sky, because I always do. And I think maybe I noticed the bright light. I had my little laser in my pocket. I didn't expect anything to happen at that time, but yeah.
What do you mean your laser in your pocket? Like
my laser pointer.
All right, for like cats, that sort of thing?
Pardon?
For like cats?
No. To try to make contact.
Oh,
you mean, yeah. I don't have a cat, so yeah, I know what you mean. Like, not for cats. That's not why I had it.
Yeah, but you know what I'm talking about, that kind of pointer there that you...
Yeah, but it could pop balloons. It's very strong. It can go like half a mile.
Oh, wow. And you just shine it up into the air?
Well, yeah, I blinked it at the thing 3 times, and it blinked back twice. Be careful,
it's not a plane, right?
It wasn't. Yeah, I made sure it wasn't moving or anything.
Yeah, nobody do that listening to the show, just so we're clear.
Yeah, I knew it wasn't a plane. It was 4 a.m. Yeah, don't, because that's, number one, illegal, and you could blind somebody and kill a bunch of people.
Yeah, or crash the whole plane.
Yeah.
Yeah, so...
But, so be careful, but in this field, that's something we do. All right, we point things at the sky to get there. Hey, I'm over here. Yo, and they probably see us.
Yeah, is that a laser in your pocket, or are you just happy to see me?
It's a laser in his pocket.
Everybody just walks around with a laser in their pocket all the time.
Yeah, right?
Is that a laser?
I don't know. Why does he carry a laser? This guy's weird.
Yeah. You never know when you need to cut something, right? Or pop some little kid's balloon.
Yeah. Hey, Fred, come here. Look at this guy. He's got a laser in his pocket. They start getting all the aliens. But, it's a tool we use. All right? It's used in the paranormal field constantly, even in ghost hunting. It's a good tool. You just don't want to burn anybody's retinas out.
So let me ask you this. There were a few shows I've listened to you do long ago where you were trying to use the spirit box, right?
Yeah.
How did that go? Could you tell everybody exactly what a spirit box is, and how did it go for you? Did you ever contact anything on it?
A spirit box is a device that, whether moving, like if you have a radio dial and you hit scan and it goes and it scans and looks for all the stations from left to right, that's what it's doing. It's scanning for non-stations, white noise. So, I guess it goes through all the channels. It doesn't just scan for those, but they have those now, so I guess that's true, but not the one I have. The one I have is just like going across a radio dial. So I put AM and FM together because you can mix them, and I put it on fast, and it, and it goes, right?
Mm-hmm.
But when it gets closer to the radio station signal, it starts picking up letters and things. And voices and what people are actually saying. Even songs, you'll hear, like, my, oh my, and Guns N' Roses, oh, I know, and it's very silly technology to use in a ghost hunting scenario. It's useless. The ghost isn't going to pick out the white noise or words from a radio show to speak to you. Do you know how impossible that is? I mean, that's not really
Yeah.
feasible. You know, that's like Bumblebee in the Transformers picking the radio stations to talk to people. It's even that's impossible to think can be real. You know, I mean, I don't know, man.
Is it though?
Yeah.
I mean, you could.
Yeah.
I mean, you could hack somebody's car stereo with a FM feed, couldn't you?
You can hack it for sure. Yeah. You just got to get the right, whatever it is, megahertz.
Yeah.
What do they use?
So the spirit box kind of useless.
The spirit box, you ask it a question, and it just sweeps through the AM, FM, and if you hear a word, you know, you might hear like somebody talking on a talk show, and they say science, you know, and they're talking about science fiction books. So now you ask the question, you know, why did you die? And all of a sudden you hear the word science. They died because of science. Oh my God. We got a scientist or something. You know, it doesn't work like that.
So what do you think about ghosts in general?
No, it does work like that. I believe there is a swirling energy that is constantly happening all around us at all times. Like little vornadoes, not vortexes, little vornadoes of energy. And I think it's within the crushing, you know, the plates and all of this pressure underneath us creates this maybe some sort of magnetosphere, NATO type of thing. And every now and then it sweeps by and something strange may, you know, maybe move or create an image of something or someone that used to be there. It somehow gets their energy. How, though? How can that actually happen? So then you have to ask yourself, well, it's the dead people coming back, but they never give us anything pertinent. Nobody ever gets to know where mom's jewels are. You know, where's dad's safe box?
Yeah.
You never get that stuff. Where's the will? No, it's always nonsensical responses. Although they are responses, I mean, but I don't know what it's like to be dead to come back to this world and try to make contact with the living. I don't know how hard it is yet.
Well, I guess we'll find out, right?
I don't know.
Did you ever try to? Are you the one that did a show trying to contact Art Bell?
No, how dare you?
Well, no,
that's blasphemy. I would never do that. That guy was doing that the day after Art Bell died.
Oh, okay, I was wondering who that was doing that.
I don't remember. He's popular though.
Yeah,
somebody in your chat will know.
Yeah, maybe somebody else will bring it up. So, Antonio says, "What does Rich think about celebrity ghost box channels? Why are they so manipulative?"
Celebrity ghost box channels?
Yeah,
I'm not familiar with that.
I'm not either. Maybe you can explain that a little bit more, Antonio.
Oh, I think I know what he means.
What does he mean, you think?
Channels that do the spirit box. That's it. You just watch them make fake contact.
All right. Scott Brown wants to know, Rich, will you make any night trips to Gulf Breeze to see if you can capture anything? Walter's sightings were questionable, but many others have caught footage there.
Yes, it's already in the works. So, yeah, we were supposed to be done, me and Dark Hour Paranormal and Third Phase of Moon. We were going to put together a documentary about the coastline and the Gulf and the sightings from the Pacific, the Atlantic, and the Gulf. And mine was the Gulf, so I was going to look into that and go there, you know, to Gulf Breeze and all that stuff.
All right. Matthew Brown says that was Steve Huff Paranormal.
No, yeah, that's right. Good one. Oh, I better write that down. I want to look that guy up again.
Well, we've got some great, intelligent listeners on our show.
Oh, I know.
You ever notice that on your show, like how great these guys are?
That's why I said the chat room knows.
Yeah, they know everything.
They know more than us.
It's totally true.
You know why? Because hold on, I'm writing it down. It's a collective mind. You know, it's hard to be you and me, have all this logic, but they have to combine together to get these answers. It's amazing how they work together. Such subhumans. I'm joking. You didn't get the joke. It didn't land. Didn't do good.
Oh, I don't know. I was
Never mind.
I was writing
If I
down
have to explain that, I'll be done.
Let me ask you this, because I've seen you do some shows about it, and I wanted to talk to you about it. What do you think about the whole fallen angel aspect of ufology? I mean, there's a lot of people out there that believe that these are really fallen angels, and that the Greys are their synthetic artificial intelligence, and that the fallen angels have created this technology because, well, they've been down here on Earth for thousands and thousands of years, and that they've had time to do all this. What do you think of that idea? That's an interesting one, isn't it? Where do you stand on the fallen angels idea of this?
I like some of it. What I don't like is the name Fallen Angels. I don't like the name, and that always turned me off to take it seriously. And that's not even a joke. There's a lot that goes into a name, naming something, and it always turned me off. So let me just tell you, so I never did a lot of research on it, is what I'm saying. So I'll tell you what I think and see how it fits. Because I am familiar with it. I get the gist of the whole thing. I understand it. It's not that hard to figure out. Okay? It's a great theory. It's a great story because I think that these aliens that are in these ships that can make turns, 90-degree turns at thousands of miles an hour, and apparently either are still alive or they're robots, or they built themselves into cyborgs, but they're still mentally their being. So I think they're like super, technology, living technology.
Well, that's where we're going, isn't it? Like with the Neuralink stuff and everything else. It's transhumanism. That's kind of the direction that
that's it.
The elites wants to take us.
That's it. I want to go there.
Transhumanism?
Like yeah.
You like the whole idea of connecting your brain right to the internet?
Yeah, I wouldn't mind. I mean, it would be cool. That's why.
Because then if you can connect your brain to the internet, couldn't you then be hacked and somebody take control over what you're doing?
I would imagine that if I had the technology to be connected to the entire internet, there is such a security system from Norton, you have no idea.
Oh, yeah, we see how great that works, right?
Well, and I'm half joking because seriously, if you did have the technology to do that and get on the internet, I think you would have that type of security. So,
which the CIA would already have a workaround in, because they're the CIA and would be able to hack anybody's mind that they wanted to and make them do things.
It's an ongoing battle.
Yeah, no,
really is. It's an ongoing. Well, that is interesting though. What if you didn't have to connect to the internet?
Well, then they would force you to, right?
Yeah, no, but I'm just saying, like
you have to connect your brain to the internet, or you can't go dining anymore. You can't go to the restaurant because you haven't connected your brain to the internet.
But I could still eat, right?
Yeah, but you can't. You have to grow your own food because you can't buy it.
It's expensive. I'll grow my own food. Give me a cow, so I could have some meat, make some babies.
These are some interesting times that we're in right now. Do you think that the UFO has been used by the mainstream media as just a sort of distraction?
It's a distraction to what technology we are now getting into another level. I think this technology, I think they figured it out 20, 30 years ago. And I think it started with the drone technology in the early 80s when they started having drone technology. But something happened in that between the 80s and 90s. And the technology seemed to just boom, like we had that, it came out with the stealth bomber in the 80s.
Yeah.
Right? So they figured out that radar blocking technology or whatever, being invisible. I don't know. I forgot where I was going.
Yeah.
I started thinking too much.
It's amazing what happens. It's a little too early for you, right?
It might be.
Are you
I'm okay.
Are you still mentally on Arizona time, or are you mentally on the Florida time yet?
No, I've been out here since early May.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, I got acclimated to everything within a few days.
Right.
The thing is, I was staying up till 6 a.m. instead of 3 a.m. talking on the phone, you know, so it was tough. So I stopped all that recently. I wasn't sleeping enough.
Yeah. Well,
I don't like sleeping during the day. I want to go back to a normal life.
I love sleeping during the day if it's raining.
No, see, I want to be up when it's raining. I want to be in it.
No, I want to be in dreamland, listening to the rainfall. I guess that's just me. Everybody has their own thing. Well, guys, we've got about 30 minutes left with Rich, so if you have any questions for him, go ahead and put it in caps in the chat box there, and we'll get to them. I see one here from This Is My Story. Does Rich believe in a power greater than himself?
Another species, perhaps. See, I think what I believe in is the universe. And you can say what you want. I'm almost to the point where I'm calling the universe a hive-minded being, or, you know, hive-minded, or I don't know if I'm using the right terminology. But it's a thinking center almost. That's what I think all this space is. I think it's somehow channeling thoughts and ideas and emotions and history, even maybe the future. And I know a lot of people don't like what I'm about to say. 50%, I notice it's split. But I believe in the law of attraction. Your thoughts create things. And that's because the universe understands reality from your brain the same way when you're thinking about it or if it's actually happening live. No, the universe can't tell it apart.
I totally believe with you there. I totally believe in the idea of manifestation.
So in essence, what you're doing is you're tricking the universe by thought reality. So if I needed $5,000, I would imagine the $5,000 getting to me, but I would imagine myself getting in my car, driving to the mailbox, feeling the gravel, creating the image of that reality up to that moment when I get the money. And, you know, stepping out of the car, feeling the splash of water in the street go up onto my pants, you know, all that stuff, the hot wind, the smell of the grass, everything. You try to imagine everything. You know, what it looks like everywhere your eyes go. So if you can create the reality, the universe thinks it's happening. And it thinks that you're on a path to getting and seeing the money in the mail. Because, you know, if you needed it, you know, if in my law of attraction thing that I actually did, me and my wife needed $5,000, and it took about, I don't know, 30 days almost. And we got a check in the mail for $4,995. They overcharged us for our mortgage. So for our loan, whatever. That's amazing. And I imagined it, and it happened almost exactly the way I envisioned it to happen. So very interesting how you can. So what you're doing is tricking that reality. So it opens up the doors. That's why the rich get richer. That's why Oprah was pushing The Secret, the law of attraction. Here's why rich get richer and the poor stay poor. Because rich people all day think about, you know, how they can make more money, and poor people always think about, oh, poor me, I'm always, you know, without money, I have no food, I can't pay my bills. So that's what your universe is going to be. Instead of thinking, oh, I'm living in luxury, I'm driving a nice car instead of being on this bus. You know, I wear nice clothes instead of holes in my sneakers. If you create that reality, you may create that reality. You know, if you're thinking it, you may be able to create it and open up the doors to the universe by tricking it. It's very, very. I went a long way. I said a lot.
No, you know, and it goes to like Jim Carrey said this. Like, he wrote a check to himself for $1 million when he first started doing stand up, and put it on his refrigerator, and then like 5 years later actually went and cashed it. That's
a great story.
And he says it's all about your thoughts. All right, so Chuck Bam wants to know, when are you buying 500 subs? Did you say you were going to buy 500 subs?
No, it's a inside joke on the channel.
Oh, right.
Yeah.
All
there's
right.
there's a certain channel that bought subs, and
Oh, you mean
yeah,
like
I'd say who it is.
subs for the
Yeah, like
channel?
subscribers
Oh.
to the channel.
Yeah, you don't want to do that.
Yeah.
That's never the way to go. Mr. Fox wants to get your opinion on Ouija boards.
I think, well, I played with the Ouija board, if everybody knows who follows me, and nothing happened, but something did happen. So I don't know. I tried contacting the devil over 120 times, and every time I used the Ouija board, I forgot to say goodbye. So I opened up all these magical portals and let all these bad spirits in, and I really had a bad experience.
Did you really?
Yeah.
What happened?
Oh boy. It's just I don't see. There's a lot of proof that something strange happened. All right, I'll tell you. I just hate. Yeah. Anytime I hear other people tell their stories, I'm like, yeah, right. I'm like, yeah, right. So I know a lot of people out there going, here he goes again. So.
Well, you got to expect that. You're the guest.
Yeah, no, but I don't have to tell it if I don't want
No,
it. But
you
I
don't.
will
Yeah.
because, I'm here. I'll tell it fast. So I did all those Ouija board sessions, and my deal, what I was trying to do was make a deal with the devil. I was going to sell my soul to the devil if I can get filthy rich and fame and fortune. I wanted to see if it would work. I'm a researcher, so, I did that. That's what I did with the Ouija board. And I set up cameras, like 3 different cameras, 2 different voice recorders, and lasers going, in the background, in case, I see something like a shadow figure walk by, it would break the grid. So I did all of that over 100 times. The last 20 times I didn't do that. But anyway, nothing ever happened. And I said, you know what? I'm done with you. And that's what happened. See, I can't even remember my own story. I was going through some things, and I found a little necklace my parents gave me for communion when I was 13. It was a Jesus on the cross, and I had lost that thing, I thought, for the last 30-something years because I moved several times and never found it. But here it is. I found it, and I thought it was a sign. So I said, this got to be a sign. So I said, you know what? I'm going to denounce the devil right here, right now. I denounce you. And you know what? I'm going to read the Bible, and I'm going to try God one more time. That's what I was saying. I put the necklace, it barely fit around me, and, it was really small, so it went right up to my, right up to my clavicle bone, up on where your throat is. It wasn't hanging low, Yeah, it didn't look good, but I put it on just as a symbolic change. And that was on Sunday or Monday. Tuesday, I had Taco Bell. Nothing, I'm not having any paranormal experiences anyway, so nothing happened really. But I got Taco Bell and I had tacos that day. And I remember eating the tacos and didn't chew enough, and it felt like it scratched my throat. Like if you ever swallow something like a taco shell and it feels like, oh God, what did I just do? That's what it was. And that night I felt like my chest had a little pressure on it. Nothing major, probably just the Taco Bell. Wednesday came around, I had a normal eating day, but Thursday came and I couldn't eat. I had indigestion all day. I'm like, damn it, that Taco Bell's not sitting with me. I can't believe this is happening. I'm going to get sick from Taco Bell. Friday came, and every breath I was taking, it made me nauseous, like I had to throw up. And Friday night, that's what I did all the way up until Saturday afternoon. And I haven't eaten anything since Thursday, Friday, Saturday, and on Sunday, I was feeling awful. Like my heart was, it felt like it was racing. I was sweating. So I took myself to the, what do you call it? The emergency room only a mile away. And she thought, okay, the EKG looks fine, but I want you to go to the hospital. I'll call an ambulance. I'm like, no, I can't afford a hospital. And she gave me a little indigestion pill, like an Imodium or something like that, Imodium AD, and I drank some chalk, that I don't know what it is. So anyway, I really wasn't feeling good, and it felt like something was really wrong because I haven't eaten now almost 4 days. It was Father's Day, and I told my parents I'm going to go to the hospital. They met me there. They took x-rays of my throat. I told them what happened. Could it be the taco? And he's like, no, a taco shell can't do that. He goes, I don't see. He goes, well, he's looking with the flashlight, and he goes, we'll have to do some x-rays. He's like, I thought I saw something. Well, it came back an hour later with the x-rays, and he asked me the strangest question of all, and he goes, are you a magician? And I'm like, no, not that I'm aware of. Why? And he goes, well, I'm asking, and because your x-ray, and he puts it up on the thing. He goes, it shows something unique. And I said, well, what does that have to do with the magician? And he's like, have you ever tried swallowing swords like the magicians do? And I said, no, never. As a joke, I look at my dad. I'm like, never, and he's like, all right. And I go, no. And he goes, because if you look on the x-ray, he says, you see all this dark area here and a little lighter here. He says, if this was in color, that would be bright purple and a little less purple. And he says, that's showing me your esophagus is bruised from top to bottom. He says, and what your esophagus was doing while you felt like throwing up, it was spasming, because it's as if you were sticking something down your throat or you were being choked.
Huh.
And I've had dreams in the past before where I've been choked and somebody tried killing me by putting their fingers down my throat.
That's a horrible dream to have.
Yeah, it was good though, because I lived, right? So when I woke up, I was like, that was a great experience. I don't mind it. I like the scare as long as I'm okay, and I'm okay. But this is really weird. So I eventually lost my voice Sunday. I couldn't talk when I woke up Monday at all. It was like you couldn't even understand me. So I went on my friend's show Monday night. I was able to get my voice to come back to where it's just audible, and I told the story of me going to the hospital because I didn't do my show that night. I went on his. So he goes, you know what happened to you, bro? You had a spiritual attack. He goes, you denounced the devil by putting the God, Jesus, on your neck right where your esophagus is. And they hit you right where you live, because I used to talk to make money, and I do my show.
Yeah.
So everything, my career, my show, I need my voice. So he says, the doctor says it looked like you might have been strangled, but there were no bruises on your neck, bro. That's a spiritual choking. Like, yeah, maybe it is.
That's crazy.
So that's because I denounced the devil all the Ouija board times. And to this day, I still have issues with, as you could tell earlier on, my voice was still a little, that's the effects. I still have it. And I don't know, maybe it's a thyroid thing. So I'm going to get that checked out in 2 days. So we'll see.
Yeah, well, hopefully it's not anything serious, right?
But imagine that. My esophagus was bruised from top to bottom. You can't get choked all the way down there.
Well,
in your chest?
I guess it depends, right?
Sword swallowing.
Yeah, maybe.
Because he thought I was bruising he says it was severe bruising. He thought that I was lying because my parents were there. he thought I was doing some stuff to myself, like hurting myself.
Oh, wow.
Yeah. That's the feeling I got. He never told me that, but it was a weird vibe.
Oof.
He's like, you can tell us if there's anything, you were doing. It's okay. I'm like, I'm telling you, there's nothing. I'm like, what am I going to do? I used the Ouija board.
Yeah, right.
I put a necklace on my neck.
Well, you never know. I mean, he might have believed you. He might have been like, well, that maybe that's the thing.
But doesn't that show you where we're at as a society, that I couldn't even tell the doctor the truth?
Well, you can't tell the doctor the truth about. I mean, they're not even telling us the truth about things anymore. So.
Well, I have to take that all back. That was a stupid thing for me to say, because I didn't even think it was a spiritual attack until the guy said it on the show later that next day. Yeah.
All right, so let's move on, and let me ask you this, because it's come up in the chat here just a bit ago. I think it was the last question I have. So if anybody has any more questions, go ahead and put it in the chat room, and I'll ask away. But let me ask you this: we just had in the past week, we've interviewed both Travis Walton and Mike Heston Rogers, and I had Mike last night. I don't know if you heard that interview, but I really pressed him about the fire tower. What do you think is going on? You think that they're conning everybody? You think it was a hoax?
I wasn't there, and it does make sense what Mike is saying, but I still think it would have to be a perfect performance on Mike and Travis's part and the person in the tower to make that work. Nobody else got out of the truck and followed Travis up that steep hill. Remember, that was a hill that he had to go up, right? So that's why the tower's legs were hidden so well, because they were at the bottom of the hill. The tower's legs were hidden by the steepness of the hill and the trees. That's why they saw what looked like a UFO in the distance. I could see that.
But they've been fighting over money for so long, Rich. They've been fighting over money for so long that I think if it was a hoax, I think that Travis would have paid him the money.
Yeah. Well, who's saying it's about money?
Mike. He's I guess he's saying he's not getting any of the money from Travis for the book sales. He's entitled to 35% of the book sales. That's why he's been so upset.
Right. But where is that, in writing?
Yeah, he posted the contract yesterday. We posted it on the show.
Oh, wow. But now Travis, well, see, this is silly. Mike's putting it out in the public. I don't like that. All right. And I wish they would have kept it to themselves. That would have been the best thing. I made the same mistakes talking about stuff on my show when I shouldn't have. So I understand stupidity. Okay. I do it all the time. But if Mike's being ripped off now, Travis has to kind of prove that he has receipts for this money that he's given Mike. I mean, that would be the logical thing. If they've had this issue the whole time, I'm sure Travis is crossing his T's and dotting his I's, or his accountant is.
Yeah. You think that if it was, let's just say me and you got together, I come down to Florida or whatever, and we get together and we decide we're going to do a hoax. All right. And we get all this national attention, a movie made about it, everything else for 40 something years. All right. If I have a deal with say I'm the Travis part of the story, and I have a deal with with you and with the movie people that I'm supposed to give you 35% of what I make off of the story, I'm going to pay you because I'm going to want you to keep your mouth shut about the fact that we hoaxed the thing.
Right.
So if he's not paying him, he's like, I don't care what you say, it wasn't a hoax. I'm just not going to pay you. Like, take me to court.
He doesn't have any reason to keep quiet.
Yeah. So why is he still sticking with the story that it was a UFO? He swears it wasn't a tower. He says there's no way it was a tower.
Well, Mike is pretty dumb for doing what he did, because he made himself look stupid at the same time. And usually that's how you can tell when somebody's desperate. They don't even care about their own reputation. me and Travis hoaxed it. You know, he didn't say Travis hoaxed it. They both did it. So is that a sign of desperation that he wants to hurt Travis for that?
No, but he said on the show, last night that he said he hoaxed it only to get Travis's attention because Travis wasn't giving him the money. And then as soon as he said that he hoaxed it, Travis gave him some money.
So everything should be fine then?
Yeah, so now he's going back to the old story.
That they didn't hoax it.
Yeah.
This is so stupid. So now that tells me everything I need to know. It's not a hoax. I think it's real. No, I don't know. I really don't know. There's a lot of evidence showing
you live so close to there. How is it you never went out there?
What do you mean?
You never went to the...
No, it's not close. It's a 4-hour drive.
Well, I mean, from where you were.
Yeah, nobody wants to go to Snowflake. And there were so many things... yeah, I mean, I've only been... Yeah, I guess I never really thought about it to go out there. That's weird. Yeah, I guess I never really thought about it.
Yeah, well, you'll
there
have
were
to
so
go...
many books in the movie and everybody else doing it. I guess I must have felt I didn't need to. That's got to be it.
I don't know.
Now I'm mad I didn't go.
I would love to go out there at night and try to find like what the fire tower looks like at night. Yeah, if it's even there anymore, or if it's even lit up anymore. Who knows if it's even operational anymore?
Well, didn't Ryan Gordon go there and show us the Gentry Tower? I thought he took pictures and everything. Yeah, so it's still there.
But it wasn't. I mean, he had some animations that he had made of it lit up, but he didn't actually take any real pictures of it. At least none that I've seen. I haven't seen him anyway. I've seen like animations and pictures and things that were created. I haven't seen any actual photos.
Oh, okay. So it's probably
at least
animated.
Not at night with it lit up. I'd like to see that. I'd like to see what it looks like for real at night, like lit up.
I bet from that low angle, the steepness of the hill, that whatever, the trees, it probably looked like a UFO. But how could they mistake it? I guess they only saw it for a few seconds. It's not like they watched it for a minute, not even 30 seconds.
Yeah, the whole thing just screams to me like, I don't know. It's hard to say that it didn't happen because I guess I kind of want it to be real. I want it to be a real story, Does that make sense?
Yeah, we all want it to be real.
Yeah.
But you know what happens if it isn't? Then that's, one less trusted story down the tubes. So it means that aliens may not be here. One more piece of proof gone.
Yeah, honestly, what other stories do we have left? Good ones.
I don't even know if Betty and Barney Hill is a good one, but that thing's been twisted and turned, so I don't know.
Yeah, Scott Brown wants to know if he can get an oh gosh.
Oh no, I know what he wants. Yeah.
What does he want? What is he saying there?
Yeah, it's just something I do on the show every now and then. It's just like saying hoo-ah. It's one of those things.
Oh, all right. You gonna do it or no?
Travis Walton and his Gentry Tower, and gush all over Travis Walton's face. That's the gush.
All right, there you go.
That's what it is. You sound disappointed.
No, I apparently...
You're supposed to be amazed by that.
He didn't spell it very good.
How did he spell it?
Guzsh.
Oh, yeah, I know what he means. Yeah.
I guess. Antonio wants to know, secret space program, yes or no? Or are we still stuck with rockets and bullcrap?
Secret space program, yes. And I believe that is part of the Tic Tac coalition.
So it's all us. You think it's all us?
I do. Yeah.
Oh, that's disappointing, isn't
it? I just now got to that point.
What about these crop circles that we see all the time, though? They look so real. And they just look so complicated and intricate. You know what I'm saying? Like I just don't see how humans could make crop circles like that.
Some of them, they just, if you listen to the scientific, analysis and all that stuff, whatever they do when they go through those crops, they talk about the nodes or nodes that implode or explode from the heat. It's like radiation or something. What is it? What's in a microwave energy is what it is. And it apparently it starts from the center of the circle and goes outward. And these nodes explode like really bad at the center of the circle and, not as bad at the outskirts on the perimeter. So it's an interesting find with the crop circles. That's how you know those are the real ones, by those exploding nodes. And also you can't see any bruising from people walking on the stalk of corn or in the wheat. So there are some real ones. I don't know what to think, man. They must be instantly being made. Like, that video that came out 20 years ago? You see the two orbs and the circle appears underneath it. It's probably CGI, but I'm assuming it happens that quick.
Yeah.
I don't see how humans can make some of those circles perfectly.
I know, right? They'd be messed up a little bit, especially if they're out there doing it at nighttime. It's not like they have somebody overhead watching them, like, oh, you're off a little, or do it this way. I mean, these things are massive. But it sounds like you're saying that these have nothing to do with aliens or UFOs. It's something totally different.
I don't know. No, I didn't say that. I just don't know. Like, if we can't figure out after all these years, since the early 80s when they got popular with Colin, whatever his name is, Andrews, is that his name? I think Colin Andrews. Even Linda Moulton Howe got involved with crop circles. That's how it started out for her. And then the cattle mutilation right after. But, the media tried debunking it with Doug and Dave and that they're two boards and string. And they're all of a sudden now responsible for all of the crop circles worldwide. And that killed the crop circles. But they're still a thing. And they're very odd. I love them. I've never seen one up close, though.
Oh, they're fascinating to look at. I mean, what kind of messages that whatever is trying to send us, if we can figure it out, it'd just be awesome. Some of these things are.
Some of them we figured out.
Oh, I know, but they're incredible. There's some. It looks like almost like it's Morse code. Some of these things.
I know.
Like it's some kind of code or something.
I know, but what does it all mean? It just seems so random.
Yeah.
That's what doesn't make sense.
Derek Atkins wants to know, can Rich recommend any channels for accurate and current UFO sightings?
Sightings?
I guess like Secure Team 10 or something.
Yeah.
You don't like Secure Team 10, do you?
No, not really. No. Not a big fan. You learn a lot about somebody when they put their life out on the internet, and it's some interaction afterwards. Not on the playing field that I thought he was. Just not there. Just all about himself. That's all that matters.
He doesn't seem to be a good person, right?
He only cares about himself. That's the God's honest truth.
So
that's it.
You don't have any recommendations out there for channels that are actually posting credible UFO sightings?
First of all, there are no credible UFO sightings. But if you want to, Third Phase of Moon still does it. They still get the cool sightings up there. Some of them are explained. Some of them may be obvious. But there's some in there that, my God, what is that? So, they do a good job.
Oh, it's the arrows. The arrows kill me, man.
Yeah, but that brings in people, man. A lot of people use those arrows.
But you know that the science on the arrows actually says that if you just put if they used a couple eyeballs looking at it, you know what I'm talking about, or a finger pointing at it, it actually works better than the arrows do. You should tell them that they should They should get rid of the arrows and actually have a finger pointing at it.
Duly noted.
Because that works better. There's been a scientific study that you'll get more clicks if you use a finger pointing or eyes looking, like just have like a side eye or something at it rather than an arrow.
See, I think that, to me, I don't like either one of those, because I'll tell you why. When you have your phone, because most of us are on our phones all day, and you're looking at a small screen, those two eyes look like, am I supposed to read this? So it always throws me off, unless they're big eyes. The finger, same thing. Is that a middle finger sideways? What am I doing? Is that a thumbs up? So I don't know. I don't like it. I like the arrow, plain and simple, right there.
You know, you were the one that motivated me to make the arrow video, because I'm subscribed to you and Third Phase on my Roku. So when I was going through my Roku, I always see the stupid red arrow, and I'm like, okay, it's Third Phase. But I was going through one day and saw you had used an arrow, and I had assumed it was Third Phase and didn't watch it. And then I realized it was you and not Third Phase. So I watched it, and then I made an arrow video, and then came on your show the next day, and you didn't have an arrow on your thumbnail, and I said, oh, you must have seen my arrow video. And that's when we got into that whole discussion about your arrow and the arrow video.
Yeah, and I did. That was funny. That was and I think that was true. Like, people use arrows for unimportant things. They make it more exciting, and but I like it. I like the arrow.
I thought it was so funny.
I had 3 arrows on one video.
Oh,
but
yeah.
But I don't abuse the arrow.
You can't use it every thumbnail, right? It can't be every single video you have. Or like have you seen the UFO on my picture here today? Like, if I was just to just like have a red arrow pointed at the UFO on the picture for our show. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like I see the UFO. I don't need an arrow pointing at it on the thumbnail to see it. Like I don't, I know what you're doing. Like, it's stupid. The stupid arrows. They don't need to be on every thumbnail. I don't know. That just annoys the crap out of me. I don't know why. And
analytics loves arrows.
And you have to, the finger pointing thing, I'm telling you, works better though. It's an actual scientific study. It come out of Stanford or Harvard or something.
All right.
And the finger pointing actually works a lot better. You should try the finger pointing. Try it.
I don't know. I may.
You should give it a try. What's it gonna hurt?
It won't hurt anything. You're right.
If you do it every video, though, I'm gonna make a finger pointing episode, though.
Right, I wouldn't blame you, but that's not my style. I do like every four videos an arrow, I think.
Right.
I'm going to go arrow, finger, and eyes. That's what I'm going to start doing, and one day off.
There you go. All right. Well, man, we are... let's see here. Randall Hill wants to know, what do you think about the elongated skulls?
I think that... they were just tribes that elongated their skulls because they thought it looked cool. I know a lot of people want to think it goes, back because aliens landed and they intermingled with people, humans, and they had long heads and they were leaders, so we copied them, or that's all I think it is.
I think you're right. Have you ever seen those tribes, I guess, nowadays that they make their necks real long?
Yeah, it's weird.
They put those things on their neck and they keep stretching their neck out. And, like, eventually when they're older, they have like their necks like a foot long.
God, that's stupid.
Hey, I guess it's what they do, right? I mean,
it's that giraffe look.
Yeah, gotta have the long neck, right? The longer your neck, the smarter you are, or something.
See, we got the long necks, long skulls, and what else we have? There's so many different versions.
Yeah. There's so many different things people do. Like, I mean, just look at. I guess they have this one tribe or whatever. Like, they bludgeon themselves like all the time with all kinds of piercings and things. And some of the things I've seen is just about man. William Carr wants to know, what do you think about Kenneth Pass?
Guy needs help.
All right.
That's it. He needs help. He knows what I think about him.
All right.
The guy says he's 20 million years old and that everybody should call him grandfather. And he does the clouds where he mirrors them so you can see a shape in it, makes the pareidolia. He says, that's me. And I'm like, you're manipulating the cloud. Shut up or I'll cut you up into little pieces. That's Kenneth Bass.
Yeah. All right. Well, we're about out of time here, but...
No good? That wasn't a good story? He asked.
No. I mean, we're just out of time. I know you got to get ready
I know.
I know you got to get ready for a show. I promised you that we could get this show out and over with and done before you got to go live with yours. So everybody, GUFON is down in the description box below. You go live in what, 25 minutes?
Something like that.
Yeah, right in there about there. So guys,
30 minutes.
Go make a drink, go take a shower, go have a cigarette outside, whatever it is you got to do, and then get over to GUFON after this and check out Rich's show. It really is it's a fun show. I'm in there all the time hanging out. And Rich, I just want to let you know that you can always use any clip of my show, anytime on your show. I'm always wide open to you. You're always more than welcome to use any of my material on your show for bashing or for discussion, whatever it is.
Well, that's great because I'm always looking for content. So yeah, and yeah, I don't care if anybody uses my stuff as long as they use it for fun.
Yeah, as long as you're having a good time and everybody's laughing.
No, actually, I take ufology pretty seriously. It's a nervous reaction, all this comedy. I can't help it. It's the way I think. I can't stop. No, I don't want to stop what I'm saying.
Yeah,
but you know what I mean? And I know it's childish, some of it, but
No, you bring a reality to ufology that everybody else is afraid to talk about. I can't talk about this person bad because then maybe him and his friends won't come on the show or whatever. Like you don't worry about any of that. You're like, I'm going to say what I have to say about this person or this idea or whatever. And if you don't like it, then whatever. You just don't care. And that's what I think makes your show so great.
But I just want to say one last thing. We here at GUFON do not like what we do. We love what we do because there's people out there who are faking, lying, hoaxing, making up stories, not for the greater good of ufology. It's for something else. It's for something that they want, their own agenda, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, and you can tell you know who they are, and if we're talking about them, that means I don't think there's any hope for those people. They can't come back from what they've done. I don't think Corbell can turn around all those bad videos he put out and make up the narration and what was happening behind the scenes that we never saw. That doesn't fly well with me, nor should it anybody else in the field, and among other people. So if we're talking about them, something is wrong, and it's morally wrong. I just don't do this because I like to. I think we need to spread the message out there because nobody else is.
Yeah, you definitely bring a voice to this field that is much needed. And thank you so much for what you do.
I know it's not for everybody, but nobody's show is perfect. We're always looking to make things better, so we're always trying. But other than that, you're going to hear it. I'm going to say it if you're thinking it, so hopefully you'll give it a chance and come back and subscribe and like the show.
Yeah,
just share it. That's all we care
just
about.
Let me give a quick shout out here to Jersey Dolphins. Thank you for the super chat, and Spartan O Negative. Certainly do appreciate it.
Sweet.
Ack says thank you for a great show. Ack. It's great to have you here in the chat. Hope to have you back, man. And I always enjoy your videos that you send into GUFON. So, Rich, why don't you tell everybody where they can find you, and we'll wrap up.
On YouTube, it's GUFON. GUFON, and every night except for Sunday now you can listen to the live stream from 8 p.m. Eastern, 5 p.m. Pacific, right here on the tubes. You could also find us on Facebook and Twitter under GUFON or GUFON Radio. So check it out. You can always type in my name. Everything will pop up.
All right, awesome. And everybody, the link is in the description box below. Be sure to check it out. Hang on, Rich. I'll get to you in just a second after I'm done wrapping up. Just want to thank everybody for stopping in here. Tomorrow we have Brian Bowden is going to join us on the show. Hopefully I don't get the channel taken down because I have him on as a guest. And so tune in for that one tomorrow. Remember, you can always find us online. Just go to www.conflictradio.net. You can find us on Apple, iTunes, and all of your normal podcast catchers. That's going to do it for us today, guys. I'm in a hurry. Until next time, batten down the hatches and be safe.